Last weekend, I had the opportunity to do the Whistler Granfondo. I took part in the women's Giro event, which is actually a women's road race. And myself and more than 7,000 people went and rode their bikes on a completely closed course from Vancouver to Whistler. Now, there aren't enough superlatives to describe how incredible this event is and what a feat it is that Neil McKinnon and his organizing crew have pulled off in order to create this opportunity for us to go and ride on completely closed roads all the way from Stanley Park to Whistler. So if you think about that, that's 122 kilometers of completely closed roads. If I did like just the quick math, it was probably more than 5,000 traffic cones to get us all the way from downtown to Whistler Village. Now, the coolest thing about this event is that not only is the organization top notch and you feel like a professional road racer when you're out there, for everybody, like from the actual sanctioned race to the riders that are just participating and riding at whatever pace they want. The Granfondo also has a sanctioned race within the community ride, and that's what I raced in, called the Giro. This is sponsored by Robert McDonald, who put up all the prize money and stuffed the women's and men's winners' jeans pocket with 15 grand. In this next video, you can see the men's Giro heading off just in front of us. The women's race started 5 minutes behind the men, and then 5 minutes behind that, then the different waves of the Granfondo community event started. So one of the crazy, mind-boggling opportunities is to ride over the Lionsgate Bridge with no traffic. They closed all of the northbound traffic on Lionsgate for a complete hour to let everybody ride across completely car-free. So you can watch this next video to see what that was like. The event started as a neutral rollout to Taylor Way, where the racing actually started. It was actually neutral for both the race and for the community ride. And we rode then the whole Sea to Sky Highway in a car-free lane. So the really cool thing about the Giro is that it was equal prize money for both men and women, and this part of the event was sponsored by Robert McDonald, who I can also thank for my fabulous stay at the St. Regis Hotel. So thank you very much, Mr. McDonald. But what's cool about it is not only is there prize money for that event, it was equal prize money for men and women, and both the men's winner and the women's winner walked away with 15 grand. And way to go, Robert, for supporting these young and up-and-coming athletes. I know for the women's winner, she's off to the World Championships, and I have a video here with her. This is the winner, Allison. Woohoo! She kicked butt out there today. I really tried. I thought you guys would just let the little triathlete go. Like, why didn't you let me go? You know I can't sprint. I needed a head start.
Yeah, I mean, I was willing to wait. I waited, but
yeah. Yeah, the group wasn't having any of it.
Okay, always in bike racing, leaving it to the spring, you never know.
Yeah.
Because in that top three, it can be anyone's game, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it ended up being
yeah, exactly.
Today,
It
so
all worked out. Yeah. She's off to the World Championships in Qatar. Is that how you say that?
I say Qatar, but
Qatar.
I don't know.
Anyways, Middle East. So let's cheer for Allison. Woohoo! She's just a great race here today. This is your Whistler Granfondo Women's Giro champion. So what was I doing there? I mean, I'm a triathlete, I'm not a road racer, and it's definitely not in my comfort zone. And that's exactly the point. Granfondos are not only an enormous privilege to do these amazing rides in cool places, but they're also excellent training for long distance triathletes. The cool thing about Whistler that I'd just like to leave you with is that it is actually one of the Granfondos with the highest women's participation at 28%. So obviously that number doesn't sound that high, but in comparison to some of the Granfondos in Europe, it actually is high. And what I'd like to see is us work together to make that number closer to 50%. And I know that all the folks at the Granfondo are also on board with that. So let's work together. I'll see you out there next year. And thank you again to Neil and all the incredible volunteers and the organizing committee. What an amazing event. I'm so proud of them and of my province and our government for making this happen, because it's just the coolest thing I've done in a really long time. Most of the day I really focused on racing, but I did get a few shots of what it looked like riding along the Sea to Sky Highway. So enjoy this little peek at what's in store if you choose to race next year.